Introducing Tech for Techs Plus, the ultimate membership for computer shop owners and IT professionals. If you're looking to save time, boost your marketing, and streamline your business, this is the service for you. For just $29.95 a month or $295 a year, you'll get exclusive access to a treasure trove of digital marketing assets, including stunning posters and poster templates that you can edit yourself, and they're all crafted to captivate your audience. And on top of that, new content is released every month. But that's not all. Tech for Techs Plus also provides informative articles that you can share with your clients through your website, emails, or even printed materials, helping you build trust and loyalty. But on top of that, you also get legal documentation, including customizable contracts and policy templates. You'll have everything you need to protect and grow your business. Do you want to make changes to the posters we provide? No problem. With a Canva subscription, you can edit the designs we provide and tailor them perfectly for your business. You will also be able to take part in exciting upcoming projects like the nationwide Real Tech initiative coming in 2025. So let's accelerate your IT business with Tech for Techs Plus for just $29.95 a month or $295 a year. You'll get the tools you need to grow your business and stay ahead of the competition. Visit tech4techs.co.uk/plus to learn more and join today.
With ISL Online, you can access and control any distant computer or mobile device. Sign up now and start supporting your customers.
You're watching Tech Talk, brought to you by Tech for Techs. We're a community that supports independent trade with the help of vendors and distributors. We're live Mondays at 8 p.m. London time, and we will be streaming to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You can listen to our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, TuneIn, Player FM, and others. And now,
well, hello everyone. Welcome to Tech Talk. This is a live show where we try and help your IT business grow. tonight we have, well, sort of three guests. One of them's running late, one's having technical issues, and the other one, well, we just don't know about him. So it's going to be interesting.
We wouldn't have it any other way, though.
That's it. Let me just turn the chat on. So, guys, if you are watching, let us know if you can hear and see us. Yes, we are running a few minutes late, obviously, because we've had a few technical issues with the guests. We'll blame it all on the guests. It's always their fault.
Yeah.
We'll blame it on them. So it's these technical people. They're not very technical. That's the problem. Right. Okay, guys. So let us know if you can hear and see us, and obviously shout out your business as well, and we'll give you a shout out. So it looks like if you want to go through the chat, Jen.
William from Build IT is here. Welshie's here. Hello to you, Dan and Gadget Joe.
There we go. So evening, everyone. So yes, Gadget Joe, you've been here since 7:30 this time. So that's good of you. Okay. So
that's dedication right there.
we were the late ones this time. So makes a change. So there we go. Right. Okay. Let's get started then. So we'll do a quick introductions as usual with a little story and advice from the guests. So we'll go to Ken first. So Ken, if you want to introduce yourself, let everyone know who you are, what you do, and any tip, story, or advice.
Ken from place in I'm up in the northeast on the coast. It's been raining cats and dogs the last few days, so it's been a bit of a washout sales-wise. I haven't had technical issues this evening, but the one tip for people is if you're going to do a live stream, make sure you've got a seat that doesn't suddenly shrink on you. I suddenly go downwards. It's not me, it's my seat. I need a new one.
You're shrinking live on air.
I think they sell those at Canny Clever, don't they?
They do, and I think I'm going to order one tomorrow.
There we go. That's brilliant. So I'm guessing that was your tip and advice, was it, Ken?
It was, yeah. That's my advice. Buy a proper seat.
There you go. So, Karl, over to you next. So you can, first of all, tell everyone while you're so slim on the screen, shall we say.
Wrong.
What was that? Sorry, Karl?
Karl from Solent Technologies in Gosport. And yeah, currently doing this on my phone because the laptop decided it didn't want to play ball.
That's it. We were trying to figure out why your microphone weren't working, weren't we? So there we go. Do you have any tips or stories for us other than checking your microphone? Hint, hint.
All I can say is something we've done for Christmas this year, and that just to sort of get our name about, and that is got involved with one of the local charities, and we provided them with a tracker, and that for their Santa's sleigh that goes around past all the houses, that sort of thing, and the link for it takes them straight to our website so that we get a lot of traffic that way, and hopefully convert that into customers.
Nice.
Okay, sounds pretty good. That'll probably help you SEO and everything as well if they're all going to your website. Boost you up on your local ratings and rankings. That's pretty good. Right, Jen, do you want to go through your news first?
And do I have some news? I can announce now 2 of the sign-ups that I couldn't announce last week for TechMax, and that is TP Link. They will be joining us, and Sonic, the maker of those really great power supplies that everybody likes. So that's 2 out of about 10-ish that I'm supposed to announce tonight, but can't. So yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. If you don't know about TechMax, obviously it goes on every year in June. It's going to be on the 27th this year, if I'm correct, of June. So it's basically a technology expo aimed at the trade. So you'll be able to see all your favorite vendors, distributors, as well as people who are on the show. That we host the Tech Talk show, as well as obviously all the other techs around the country as well.
Influencers, like us.
Influencers as well, like Gadget Joe, who's there. You got Minibot PC, Welshie Tech, and so forth. They're all going to be there. Exhibitors, it's still early days yet, but we do have a few on the listings. A lot of the names won't come through till generally second quarter, so around about April. so forth. But we've got TechPoint, we've got Case King, Aerocool, Thunder X3,
In-game
Endgame
gear.
Gear.
In-game gear. APNX, Lee & Lee, Fantex, Colink, Haven, Nitro Concepts, Moser Racing, Strimplify, Ducky, EADR, VIP, QNAP, Kingston, Gamers Beat, Cancer, Spire, TP Link, and C-Sonic.
There we go. See Sonic information. We're just waiting for updated logo and stuff to put on the website. But we'll leave that there. Also, if you haven't already, take a look at our Plus membership, which we've got available on the website. So it's straightforward. You go to the Tech for Tech's website and you go to the Plus member section, and on there you can basically download articles, media, posters, legal documents, worksheets, video media, and stuff what has also been provided by other vendors and distributors, like Target Components is one of them. Under the video media, just to give you an idea, you've got little videos you can download and share. I'm not sure if this will play music or not, so just bear with me. So I'll just turn the music off while it's going through. So you can download that, or if you want, you can actually add your own logo and web address on there if you've got a Canva subscription. There's also a New Year version as well, and you can do that with most of the posters as well, edit them. And there's even a bit of information at the top right-hand corner if you're not sure how to do editing in Canva, it tells you how to do it. So gives you a rough idea. So I'm going to leave it there with those bits. So let me close this down and put chat back on. If it lets me. Come on. Go away. There we go. I thought I got rid of everyone there. Right, let's go quickly through chat before we get on with the show.
Yeah, you caught me off guard. I was watching the special there. Oh.
There we go. Well, we've got chat. We've got Dan saying evening all. You got Welshie Tech saying hello. William saying he can hear us. Audio's all good. If you get a no-show, I'm about. So that's William for tonight, I'm guessing. And is NZXT coming or not? At the moment, NZXT, again, we can't announce or say anything until they actually physically 100% sign up or anything due to disclosures and stuff. But let's put it this way. They've been every year up to now.
Yeah.
So that's as best as I can
They even
say
sponsored us one year. So
yeah.
It would surprise me if they didn't.
They were an evening's drink sponsor on the first year, if I remember
Yeah.
right, and they definitely took advantage of the free drinks. Well,
Yeah.
they weren't really free; they paid for them.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, they definitely.
We
took advantage.
all took advantage.
Yes.
I watched a certain. I'm not going to say his name or his company. I watched a certain managing director cart out a trolley full of paid for beer on that night. Remember, we asked, what was going to happen with all the beer that was paid for and it was sitting on the tables. And I watched a certain managing director wheel out one of those busboy trolleys full of free beer. And I thought, that'll never make it to the employees.
That's it. It's quite a few comments. I know why people are commenting about NZXT. Obviously, it's that issue they've had with their was it relays? Not the relay. What was the name of it again? Their renting system or leasing system.
Yeah.
They having issues with. I know it is actually a third party which is sort of in charge of it, sort of thing. But still, obviously, there must be some approvals and stuff. But there's plenty of information out there about that, and you can always contact your rep regarding that. But generally, if you're most people who are in here aren't going to be actually using the leasing system.
I was going to say, I don't think it'll affect us one way or the other anyway.
That's it. Thank you, Welshie Tech Flex, it's called. That's it. I knew it was something. Relays that audio system into.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we go. Right, before we go any further, we've got to say thank you to today's sponsor of the show. Without the sponsors, then we can't do these shows. So thank you, ISL Online.
With ISL Online, you can access and control any distant computer or mobile device. Sign up now and start supporting your customers.
And if you do want to check out ISL Online, there's a QR code on the screen at the moment, or you just go to islonline.com. On top of that, also, if you are able to help and support a charity over Christmas or even the New Year, which is going to basically help people who are terminally ill with cancer, then check out these guys. Introducing Gamers Beat Cancer, the UK charity using the power of gaming via the gift of gaming to bring hope and support to cancer fighters everywhere. They provide gaming equipment, build supportive communities, and raise funds for vital cancer charities. Join us in levelling up against cancer. Donate, volunteer, or spread the word today. Visit gamersbeatcancer.co.uk and let's have more game on. There we go. And also you can find their QR code on the screen now, as well as a website, which is gamers, should I say, beatcancer.co.uk. Okay, right, let's get on to the show, get the chat back on, and go from there. So there we go. What was it you wanted to say, Jen?
Huh?
Okay, she didn't want to say anything. Right, okay, so it's all right. I thought you nudged me a minute ago, so something you wanted, but no, that's fine. We'll get on with it. So Richard Creedy, I
I'm
don't
constantly nudging you. You were married.
Yeah, there you go. Richard Creedy also said evening all as well. So there we go. Right, let's get on with the topic then. So we might have Will Muir jump in at some point. He says he was stuck with a customer, so he may make it on, he may not. So let's... yeah, exactly. Makes a change. It's usually me, which looks like the deer in the headlights, Gadget Joe.
Well, I'm racking my brain right now, Gadget Joe, trying to think what in the world could it have been that he thought that.
Well, let's get on with it. Okay, so we'll figure that out after the show. Right then, let's get on to the main topic. So the main topic is what's in your stocking, or what are you stocking in your
hello.
stocking? So depending on how you want to put it. So basically, what are you stocking in your store, or if you're providing other types of services, that sounds a bit strange. What are you giving away for Christmas?
Don't even go there.
This show's getting worse, isn't it? I don't know.
It's all you.
It's all me.
What
it's
have I
me.
done? What have I created since we've
Exactly.
been married?
It's your fault. There we go. I was a recluse until I met you.
That sounds really bad.
That's it. Right, there we go.
Boy, could we go any further down the rabbit hole?
Let's get started with Ken. So, Ken, what are you doing for this Christmas? In your store, that is, obviously.
Is this what am I doing or what am I stocking? We're doing my usual mix of crazy things, and some people think we go a little bit too far sometimes, but you know, if you don't try it, you never know. So we're doing the usual things, supporting a local school. We've got an extra large bear in the shop, and the amount of people who want the photo took with it is incredible. We've been taken by surprise with that one. I know some people have reservations on having photo type things and stuff like that, but people seem to like it. And if it gets them through the door, it gives us an opportunity. Got the usual big Christmas windows in with a few additions: mulled wine, mince pies, Christmas music, the PC builder on the big screen. I think we've not stopped doing quotes for the last month. Not all of them crossed the line. But, you know, it is what it is. You take the rough with the smooth. But stock-wise, average basket size seems to be down. This year has been very strange for us. Normally, we would see a very busy October, a very busy first half of November, and then things gradually start dying down till Christmas. But we had virtually nothing in October. Early November, saw a little bump. This last week, we've seen things starting to recover. So I don't know. I mean, it's a bit like pre-pandemic times at the minute. People are shopping nearer Christmas.
Yeah.
They're not planning as far down the line. But on top of that, they seem to be more conscious with cost this year. I don't know. I mean, we put it down to a number of things. The economy's not where we wanted. You know, I can't fix the economy, so we're just going to make the best of it. You know, I mean, I'm not going to get into politics. That's not my department. But
You read my mind there. I was just sitting here thinking the same thing.
But we've just got to make the best of what we can. And then the budget came along, and then we've got news that, the working man isn't going to be taxed. And then all of a sudden, I've got a call from the accountant. He's done some calculations, and that's fine. We'll deal with it as it comes. But I think in general, that's affecting what people are willing to spend at the minute. They're tightening belts right, left, and centre. So last year, it was a case of we did a quote, money, no object, whatever we need. This year, it's very much along the lines of, have you got a bit of one that's a bit smaller? Can you shave a few pounds here, or can you do something with that one, or can we have a smaller power supply, or can we have a smaller GPU, and it's so we've modified our sales process now. It's a very much a case of, we ask about budget, first question.
Yeah.
We don't like to pry. We explain that, but are you working to a tight budget, or is it a case of, are you going for quality? So we have to adapt like that. And the ones that are on budget, it's a case of, right, we'll give you what you need now, but it'll be upgradable. And next year, you get the bigger GPU, you can get more RAM, you can put more storage in, or whatever the requirements are. So I think people are definitely more conscious with the cost, and they're buying smaller things as well. This year, this last few months in particular, we've done quite well with accessories. So keyboards, mice, Bluetooth stuff, carry cases, all that kind of stuff. The ones that can't afford new machines, they've brought in their laptop and, can you, spice that up a bit? Can you do something with it? And it's a case of, well, SSD, RAM are the obvious. Give it a damn good clean. Fresh windows, that kind of thing. So we're seeing a lot of people who are refreshing what they've got rather than buying new. But on the back of that, last year we were seeing people buying branded accessories, like big brands.
Yeah.
This year, we made a conscious decision to bring in some from a distributor who are doing a lot of unbranded stuff at the minute. So
I was about to ask how, being that people are having to tighten up their purse strings, how are things on the refurb side? That must mean
refurb sales are up. We only do refurbs from one source because we know we're not going to have an issue, and if there is a minor technical issue, then it's dealt with quickly, and the customer isn't put at risk or anything. But what we have found with the refurb stuff, we're throwing in a carry case with it. The little things, we give a free annual service for your first year just to get them back in the door. But it's introducing things like, we've got an automated CRM system now, and it'll prompt us to ring them a month. So 11 months down the line after the sale, you're due in for a service. You must be needing a new laptop bag by now. You need a new mouse. We're prompting for the extras. But we're finding this year, the big branded accessories are still sat on our shelves. They're not moving. The own brands, mainly because of the price point, I think, are flying off the shelf. We're struggling to keep up with some of that.
I suppose they're buying just the bare minimum of keyboard until they can save up and get that better keyboard.
I'm kind of thinking that, a couple of months, hopefully after Christmas, people might start to release the purse strings a little bit. And we've tried absolutely all sorts. And it's, we're even plying people with alcohol to try and loosen the purse strings a bit. And it does work to some degree. But it's a case of, we've had to adapt to what people are willing to spend, which means we're having to tighten our belt a little bit as well.
We one year came up with the clever idea in the store that there were some people that just had a really small budget, but wanted to give grandson something. They didn't know what he or she would want. And we came up with gift certificates that could be bought in increments of £5 and up. And all it was we went to Vistaprint and asked them to put our name and £5 on the gift certificate, and you could buy as many as you wanted, and give them to whoever you wanted to, and redeem them at your disposal. And those were good for goods and services. So if you wanted to bring it in and have a service or something like that, or cleanup, you could have that. You could have the keyboard. You could have, whatever, because money's money.
Another one thing that I've seen this last month to 6 weeks, I don't know if anybody else has experienced this. I mean, shout up if you are, or I don't know if we're unique with this, but this is a typical thing. We had a lady come in 6 weeks ago. She bought all singing, all dancing 34 wide inch screen, and it was found to have a dead pixel when it got back to her house. We know it didn't when it left us. We couldn't prove otherwise. And it turned out, she brought it back, and we did our usual thing. It's a case of, we'll exchange it. Oh, well, can I have a different model? She wanted a slightly smaller one at that point, which was less money. So I'll just have a refund for the difference. Well, actually, you'll have a credit note for the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So, because, we're not legally obliged, because I don't believe it was faulty. But she agreed with that. And then 2 weeks after, she brought the replacement one back and said, oh, it's not compatible with the PC. And I thought, hang on, it's got HDMI, it's got DisplayPort, of course it's compatible. But rather than argue, it was a case of, right, fine, there's a refund. And she actually tried to give us the receipt for the original monitor. And, and I'm thinking,
oh my Lord.
Well, if it had been one of the young lads, they might have fell for it. And it was a case of, all right, hang on, but that's a credit note. Let's have a look. And obviously, I looked at it, and then we did a calculation. It was a case of, and because she was being so annoying, I actually made a mistake. When I didn't make a mistake with the maths, but when I went to hit refund on the card machine, I'd actually forgot. I didn't realize I hadn't pushed refund, because we don't do that many. So it's a case of, it's not an automatic thing. And I'd actually charged her again.
Oh dear.
No, honestly,
Couldn't have happened to the nicer customer.
It honestly was not on purpose. It was because she had it so wound up. I thought, you know what? And as soon as I saw it, she was looking at me as she was looking at her phone, and she said, oh, my phone's just said you've just debited me again. And I thought, oh, I'm really sorry. Really, really terribly sorry. And I said, but let me put the refund through. So just double the amount, and I put it through. And those of you who take card payments will know that a refund takes a couple of days to land back in the account.
Yeah.
Take the money straight away. It's quick there, but the other way is not so quick, even though it leaves our end quickly.
Yeah.
And I said, if there's any inconvenience, we'll see what we can do with it. And just stormed out of the shop. And I thought, oh, well, okay. But the other customers who were present at the time, I think one of them was rolling on the floor laughing, because she'd been so rude. And I just thought, well, that's karma. But that said, we don't like things like that. But that story, it basically illustrates the fact that we've had so many people coming in thinking they can try before they buy. So they'll buy the product, and then they'll take it away and then try it out at home, or not quite for me. Bring it back. Nothing wrong with it. And we've had a guy today who's buying headphones. What's the return policy? And that's red flags already, It's like, well, it's only returnable if it's faulty.
I was about to say the same thing.
In other words, I need to borrow headphones for a week while I wait
and so I'm trying to resist the urge to shout at these people. But we've all got to make money somewhere along the line, and I can't sell a second-hand piece of kit for what I bought it for. So, it's a case of, we can't just refund, but is what it is.
Can't even sell second-hand headphones or keyboards anyway. First of all, who wants it?
Exactly. And there's a limit how many we can use. There's a limit how many we can use in store. So
There we go. Right, a few people are asking about a dog barking in the background. I'm guessing that's Duke in the background.
That is young Duke, and
That
he's
is Duke saying hello from Canny
Yeah.
Clever, talking to his daddy.
There we go.
he is perfectly fine. Just to reassure everybody, he's having a bit of a tough time with a little bit of separation anxiety. So we're gradually getting him used to things. But he's actually sat with his dad next door on the sofa in the other room. Because if he was on this show, you wouldn't hear anything. So,
No, I've met them both, and they're both the sweetest things you'll ever meet.
There we go. Right, let's move on to Karl then. So, Karl, if you want to tell us a bit about what you're stocking for Christmas, if there's anything different or strange or unusual or anything you're doing to entice customers in over Christmas.
Well, one of the things we've done, we've had a few people come in from schools, that sort of thing, asking for raffle prizes and that. So we did the whole voucher thing. Cause thought, I'm not going to give away anything physical, but I'm quite happy to give away the vouchers. Done this last couple of years, and for some reason people don't seem to actually redeem the vouchers. So don't know quite where we're going wrong there. But in terms of physical products and that for stocking fillers, that sort of thing, I was able to get in sort of little your sort of screwdriver sets and various things like that. So the sort of things you can sort of sell for a tenner, and they are moving-ish, should we say?
Yeah, right. It's all extra pennies, isn't it? What you wouldn't have got coming in otherwise, stocking fillers. We always used to get a thing with vouchers. Schools coming in asking for stuff. We give them vouchers, and coincidentally, every year it was always a teacher what won the vouchers.
Absolutely.
I was like, It's like, you won't believe it. And I think one of the years it was the woman who actually collected it.
It was
and I was like,
head. It was like the head teacher's secretary.
yeah, and I was like, you're the one who we gave the vouchers to, and then you're coming back wanting to spend them. And it's like, So,
Nothing fishy there.
yeah, I had a quiet word with the head teacher, I remember afterwards, just to say I'm not sure if it did go through the school or not, but it came back in with the same person who took him away. So, but yeah, that was a little bit of a strange one. But
We used to get people that did the village fete come through and ask for donations as well. Now, those really did do well. That we would have something on the shelf that had been there for donkey's ages, and we'd take it down, and you're not going to miss it. If it's been there more than a year or so, you're not going to miss it, and you're probably going to be glad to get rid of it. So we used to at least give away a headset or a mouse or something
Yeah.
that we had knocking about to the village fete. And those people that won it, they were always grateful. We never did get anything back through going, oh, this doesn't work. I want it at the fete or anything. Thank goodness. But
yeah, they were pretty crazy. You have to watch it sometimes, don't you? And say people suddenly want to come back in and bring it in for a refund or something. And
yeah, I always insisted I can refund it if you bring me a receipt.
Yeah. But we didn't get one, so it was impossible to leave the store without one. So I don't believe that. Right, let's go through to chat anyway. So we've got Gadget Joe.
Gadget Joe says, I think peripherals are always solid sellers for Christmas. Power banks, chargers, wireless earbuds, RGB, anything. Oh, you read my RGB mind. If it doesn't have RGB on it, I don't like it. I like bling, bling, bling.
Yeah. Wealthy Tech says.
Not many new branded keyboards, mice due to the price.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to be going for more of the value stuff. I think a lot of time, even though a lot of people aren't having any financial problems at the moment, they've got plenty of money, but all the scaremongering what goes around elections and budgets and stuff. The amount of times I've had it in the past, and people saying, "Oh, we need a new computer, but we're not going to spend yet. We've got the money in the bank, but you just don't know what's going to happen in the next few years." Because I was like, "Look, if someone was going to nuke the country, the last thing you're going to be worried about is money in your bank." But yeah, so there we go.
But also brands do themselves no favors, and I won't call names, But you have certain keyboards out there, and they're affordable, right? But if you want to upgrade them to the next level, the upgradable ones, let's say you want blue keys in this area, you've got to go out and purchase your blue keys. If you want to do this to it, you've got to purchase that, which is more and more and more and more and more. And pretty soon it adds up to the price or better of the original keyboard that you bought. So I think that's part of it.
The keycaps and the cap.
Yeah.
It always makes me strange that everyone seems to be doing it at the moment. Oh yeah, you can change the keycaps and the switches
You've been
and
able to
everything
do
on the
that forever.
keyboards. Well, they do that. It's very rare I've come across anyone who actually changes the keycaps and especially the switches on the keyboard. Usually, rather than go, if a switch breaks on a keyboard, most of them just go, "Oh, I'm going to chuck the keyboard in the bin and get a new one. I'm going to go out and buy a new switch to put in the keyboard, or change the color of the switch so it's a more quieter one or more tactile or whatever it may be."
I changed the keycaps. Of course, mine were included on my Corsair keyboard that I use for gaming and all. I changed the WASD and letter S, WASD. Yeah, that's it. I'll get my head around it one day. To a different feel of key. So that way, when I'm gaming, I don't have to look around. Oh, I've lost my place. Oh, dear God, I'm going to die. So I changed that to a different feel of key. And I was really glad that they had included that option in there. The fact that it's a different color, I'm not worried about that. I'm not looking at it, but it just feels different. And you can tell which one your finger is on by the slant of the key, which I thought was genius.
But if they weren't included in the box, would you specifically gone out and bought new keycaps? You've never done it on any other keyboard, so
well, that's the only one that I knew of that had the slant at the time. So if they had actually offered it as an add-on, depending on how much,
probably a tenner a key.
yeah, WASD, yeah, I
So
would
it
have
cost
done
you
it.
40 quid.
Well, how much the keyboard on its own was over 200 quid, so for an extra 40 wasn't
a
gonna
while
break me.
ago, and it was a very expensive one. A bit extortionate, if you ask me, but you wanted it.
I wanted it.
Right, okay, let's get back on with the chat then. So, where were we? So,
Yeah, well,
William,
she says-
William was next.
Oh. Work with local finance companies to allow people to pay monthly. They do the credit checks for you or do installment payments. We start in June so they can pay a deposit, then balance off before Christmas to get a PC in time for Santa. That's a good idea.
That's a good idea. Do you have any companies that you've used or know of, William, which offer these sort of services? Because we always get a few people asking about the finance companies. So, yeah, definitely. William also says,
We have just done a Marvo wireless bundle giveaway in conjunction with a local radio station. Oh, that's nice.
There we go. How many people live on your island, though, William? It must be a really small radio station. He's going to kick me for that one.
He really is.
So, Welsh's Tech says,
To be fair enough, some low-priced products are good for the price these days.
yeah, some things are, to be honest. I'm finding that a lot of the manufacturers made stuff. I think a few years ago, some of the things were questionable. I think now a lot of them are getting a bit closer to that range where they're actually not that far off the well-known brands. So 84,000. So that's basically probably about the same amount of people that live in Chesterfield, isn't it? In one island.
You're asking me?
So yeah. True.
What do I know?
Yeah, exactly. You come from a place where a city can just have one person living there. I know.
All right, let me pause this while I beat the hell out of it.
So there we go. Gadget Joe says,
Do you find it more difficult to sell branded products in general now when you can get some impressively decent no names for a fraction?
Yeah, I'll agree with that. It's harder to sell the branded stuff at the minute.
yeah, I think it's one of those things. If people want in specific brands, we found that they generally went online and got it. They knew what they wanted, and they'll just go, right, I want a Corsair XYZ 13, blah, 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 blah. just stick it in on Amazon or wherever they want to stick it, and they just purchase it there and get it the next day. They don't even check with the local stores. I think that's where some of the store branded stuff, let's say, where I think Spire, is it Vivo, Vildo, Vido, something like that brand. I can't remember the name of it. And then you've got Target's got their Pixel and Marvo stuff, which is sort of
Evo.
exclusive, and Prevo as well, and stuff like that. So those probably do well. Actually, before we go any further, do you guys stock any novelty gifts? A few years ago, it was a big thing. Target used to sell a lot of novelty things. Talking
Yeah.
about Target, I was just thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a couple of things at the minute. So we've got some Bluetooth record player type things, which came from another distributor. I got them cheap because I think they'd made a mistake and bought too many or something. They come with record cases and things. They went well last year, and they seem to be ticking away this year. We've got some party microphones, which I bought from somebody in Tech for Techs a couple of years ago, and I struggled to get rid of them last year. This year, we're kind of adding them as a value add, showing people how to work them, and they say, "Oh, well, yeah, I'll have a go at that at a party," and they'll take one. But as far as other stuff goes, I mean, we get asked for absolutely all sorts. I mean, we've been asked about photographic stuff, small cameras, and I think, if I had to stock all this thing, I'd be called Amazon or something by that point. There's no way I can stock all of this sort of stuff. So, I mean, we've kind of limited ourselves to either tech related or something we can shift quickly, because we don't want to be sitting on mountains and mountains of stock. We haven't got the space for it.
One year, I want to say it was Target that had a whole bunch of novelty little gifts. You could buy like a big bundle, and I think a stand came with it or something. And you had this globe, and it had the little electric pulses, and when you put your fingers on it, it followed your fingers and everything. And we got stuck with one, all right? And I had it plugged into the USB socket on my PC at the till. And when people would be wandering throughout the store, I'd magically be playing with it. Come to me, and all the kids are watching me play with this ball. Look, Mom, look. That's how I sold the others leading up to that one. I want one. And there was also a time that Target had Boba Fett heads that you could hang on the wall. I was the first one for that one. I bought Phil one. That was my excuse for buying it. Is I was buying it for Phil to go in the man cave. It's the only place I could put it and be getting away with my sanity when people would come see us. I wanted the thing. They had Darth Vader. They had Boba Fett. All these little novelty things, which I'm a sucker for. And they had, what else was it? Little USB play with things for your desktop and all, and I'm like a fly to it. I'm just drawn in. So if they ever have stuff like that, well, I'm the sucker that ends up buying all those toys.
There we go. So let's quickly go for chat, get caught up with chat, and then I'll say we'll go around the room. It's only us and Ken now. It's getting smaller and smaller. Everyone's disappearing or not turning up.
We do Marvo for the sub 40-pound market, Asus and Corsair for the rest. Generally, we only get a couple of solo peripherals a month. Most are bundle deals sold with PCs.
Yeah, good point there. What we used to do was do the traditional good, better, best, or an entry level, mid range, and then a high end. But we always found that probably sold probably 10 times more of the entry level thing, 5 times more of the mid level thing than the actual high end product. So by the time you add all the profit you're making from them, you probably made more profit on the entry level stuff than you did actually on selling a branded name.
It seemed like when it got to the high end stuff, everybody was what I called a brand brat. They had their own brand that they wanted to stick to. So whether that be Razer or Corsair, by the time you got to that level, you couldn't stock all the brands that these people were wanting, and you weren't limited to the brands. You had models of the brands and versions and so forth and so on. And like you were saying earlier, Ken, you just don't have the space to literally store all of it. So we kind of kept maybe one or two high ends knocking about, and replace as needed. And we always said, we can order for you if you don't see it here. And that's how we did it.
Yeah.
Get to the chat, and
Yeah, we got this one from Smart.
regarding peripherals, we stock entry level Marvo, mid range Corsair, and top dollar Razor. Something for everyone. We have a full rack of each. You can't limp in. Smart Computers UK Limited.
There we go. And this is from Paul.
Paul Mitchison never went down the finance route, but the deposit and pay later works great for me. That's
Very
good to hear.
If you've got any companies you could recommend, Paul, or anyone else, feel free to post them in the chat. There we go. Gadget Joe saying there's 85,000 people in Grimsby. The question is, though, Gadget Joe, how many people of those people in Grimsby want to be in Grimsby? Yeah, I'm not even kidding. I can count one. There's Gadget Joe. There you go.
I know a guy that we used to play games with. He was born and bred in Grimsby, and he slates it off every chance he gets.
Okay. I think everyone can slate off their own towns.
Yeah.
Honestly, to be honest.
It's like me. I slate mine off that I was born and bred in, but you come in from outside and slate it off, and we're going to have words.
There you go. So, Welshie Tech says,
my local PC shops charge stupid prices for brands I've never heard of.
Yeah. It's quite a common thing that Welshie Tech brands, obviously, they're going to make more profit on them. It's probably more of a convenience thing. Again, I can't recall where you live, but if you get a lot of tourists, it might be stuff they
He's in Wales.
Well, I know he's in Wales, but I can't remember where about in Wales. That's like saying he's in the United States.
I had to go there. I just had to.
There we go. Right, let's go to Gadget Joe again.
Here's a question to change it up a bit. What PC stuff are you guys wanting in your Christmas stocking? Well, funny you should ask. I
got a list, have you?
I have narrowed it down to things that I like that have come through the door for review.
Okay.
Now, I don't expect to get these things, mind you.
No, they stay in stock.
But I'm just saying that they impress the hell out of me. So there was the Haven HS420V GPU case. That was extremely sexy. I'm talking extremely. Mm-hmm. All right. I liked the Deep Cool Mystique 360 AIO water cooler. I thought that was really nice. The Be Quiet Light Base 900 FX case. Extremely nice. And the Philips Ultra Wide 34-inch QD OLED monitor.
Basically, you're wanting all my top-end stuff, what I've got upstairs, what I'm using for reviews. Yeah, you can.
Well, no, I don't. Like I said, I don't expect these things for Christmas.
Yeah.
They just make the top of the sexy list for me.
Yeah.
So.
Myself, I don't know what I want, to be honest with you. I won't mind saying a GeForce 5090 when they come out next year, but I have a feeling someone's not going to spend $1.5 to $2,000 on one for me. So.
No, not necessarily.
I actually built a nice machine last weekend. There was a chap. He's getting a Ryzen 9 something or other X3D. I can't remember the exact processor, but
9800 probably the new one.
Yeah, it was the better one. And there was an RTX 4090 in there, 24 gig and all the trimmings. It took a little longer than it would normally take for a build. But we thought, let's do this one properly. Not that I don't do any properly, but let's take some extra special care on this one, make sure the cables aren't bent or twisted and all that kind of stuff. Guy was over the moon. I think most of the staff in the shop were wanting to work on the machine, but I wouldn't let them. It was a case of I'm doing this one just in case. Can't afford for this to go wrong.
Right. We're going to go to the chat and catch up because I see some, ever since I said that, replying to Paul Mitchison, reach out to local finance companies to see if they want to partner up. We get 5 to 10 a month wanting to use finance for PCs and upgrade bundles. They should give you a small commission per successful applicant, to which is a nice bonus. So there you go.
And that was from William.
I have enough PC stuff to last me a good while, and more is coming. Might as well be a warehouse at the moment.
There we go.
Okay, that was Welshie.
And Gadget Joe.
I still have yet to find any. Okay.
I'm not sure what he's trying to find.
Stockings.
Stockings. Maybe Guinness. There's a shortage of Guinness at the moment. Richard Creedy.
I'm in the process of building a machine in a big, quiet light base. That actually made my sexy list. I did not mention it, but it is here on the sexy list. That's a nice looking case right there.
Yeah, you can have it horizontal or vertical, or even upside down as well. So it's quite a nice, unique case, and you don't have to change much around if you want to move it around.
As a matter of fact, Phil, when he was reviewing it, called me upstairs. He says, I want you to see something. Now, this doesn't happen on a daily basis. He doesn't call me up because he knows I've got Bond here, and me leaving Bond's site is going to set him off barking because he loves mommy. So he says, quickly, while he's asleep, I want you to come up here. I want you to see this. And I had a look, and I was like, oh. He says, now you can't have it. And I thought, well, I knew I can't have it. I mean, I never can have anything good. I never get anything good. But he says, I just want you to look at this. Is it nice? And I had to admit, it was choice.
That's pretty good. You got Welshie Tech saying he reviewed that monitor. It's a good choice there. So that's pretty good. Rich Creedy is saying it's a big case, plenty of room in it.
Yes,
regarding
it is.
the Be Quiet 900 FX.
Yep.
Gadget Joe saying, I've got the Deep Cool Mystique sat next to me now. Good choice. Yeah, they're definitely a good cooler. We've just released a review. Was it today or yesterday? I can't remember now.
I think it was yesterday.
We've released, what day? Well, no, it's Monday. So, yeah, it would have been today. So it was this morning. Yeah, very good liquid cooler. Very cool as well. So William's saying he's got the 34 QD OLED and they're amazing monitors. He's had the Mystique in a few PCs now. Have a look at the CH560 and CC360 digital cases too. They have temp displays on the case. Yeah, I think it was the CH560 I've looked at. So hopefully we'll be getting more deep cool stuff in.
I like those cases. I've seen those, some pictures of those online. And yeah, I love anything like that that's got display on the case.
Gadget Joe's beats to us to the case. He says he's got the CH560 digital sat next to me too. Looks awesome.
Nice.
So that's pretty good. It wasn't your question of how many out of the. Oh, right, okay.
Oh, okay. We thought you were looking for stockings and stuff.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
And the last reply was, and if you want to see the 600 LX built, we did one last week, and look at our Facebook page or Google page, and that's from William at Build IT. So the 600 LX is basically the smaller or slightly smaller version of the 900 FX, I think it is, if I remember right. So yeah.
I'm a go large or go home kind of girl, but then again, I'm sitting next to a 6.5 foot tall man, you know.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Right, okay then. So, right, guys, is there anything else you'd like to add into the chat? I'd go over. Oh, it looks like we do have Carl back in the room for the last minute, but there we go. Welcome back, Carl.
Sorry about that.
That's no problem. We'll let you off this time. There we go. Right, so Ken, do you have any other ideas for Christmas, even if it's just to get people through the door or anything like that?
I know we've been taking part in a few local community things, so the local community Christmas tree festival of all things. So we built a very recycled tree out of boxes, fans, and all sorts of things. Apparently, it looks the part. You can charge a phone on it as well, thanks to a Prevo contactless phone charger thing. So we've got an advert on the front of there with a prize draw at the minute, and that's brought people in. We've sold a fair few tickets for that already. I'd like them to buy other things while they're in the shop, but the main thing's get them through the door first. Obviously, we're doing the usual giveaway sweet type things. We would normally do well at a weekend where we get out onto the street outside and physically talk to people. But given the weather the last 2 weekends,
it's been nasty.
It's been absolutely horrific. So we're kind of hoping this next weekend, which is due to be very cold but dry, we'll hope we can sort of turn things around this weekend. Other than that, I was tempted to send the lads out carol singing, but we might scare people off. So,
you were talking about the Christmas tree. Phil and I did that one year for the village, and we got it set up and everything. We were all so proud of it. We did tinsel out of old DDR2 memory, and we had some CDs and all on it that would reflect the light and everything. Anything that was RGB, we hooked it up. Even had a fan on top as the star going. I mean, we put a lot of thought into this. And then we were told the next day to come and get it and collect it because they were going to kick off their nativity or whatever, and it had to be out of the way. And I was like, I put all this work into this to meet a deadline for one night.
Yeah, and they didn't tell us that bit before we did it. And we were like, oh, yeah, it's going to be on all over Christmas or something.
Yeah.
No.
Went out and bought a tree, bought a tree to their specifications, sizes and all, especially for that, and we had the parts, knocking about. We didn't spend anything decorating it, but it was just a hassle of getting it there. Then they said, came in the next day. It was like, oh, by the way, you need to pick up your tree before 6. Oh, no rush then.
That's I don't know. Right, let's go to Carl then. Carl, have you got any last ideas of either what to stock or ways to get people in for Christmas or anything before we call it a night?
No, obviously I'm not sure what I missed when I had to go and sort out the Starlink, but I've really struggled this year, but first year in the new shop, and I've actually decorated it this time, so yeah, I really don't know what to suggest, I'm afraid.
Well, that's no problem. I'm going to say we have gone through quite a few on the chat, so that's not an issue at all. One thing I would suggest everyone does do for Christmas and New Year is remember to update your Google listings for the opening times and hours, as well as your website. And also, at the beginning of the new year, is make sure you go back on your website and take that information off. Because the amount of people you go to the websites in January, February, March, April, and even later, and it still says, we're closed for Christmas. So it looks like your website's a little bit neglected, which obviously can make the rest of your business look If your website's saying it was last updated 5 years ago, do you really think these customers are really going to be wanting to come in somewhere what's giving them tech advice? So
and this is coming from an OCD web person, because he used to sit up late at night, every night, tweaking our website and doing different things with it, because his argument was if you never update it and they keep seeing it same thing over and over and over, it becomes mundane to them. So, and I have to agree.
Yeah, and that goes for any sort of stuff, and that goes for artwork outside your store and your windows. If you keep it the same, people don't see it. They just go, they just look past it. They've seen it a million times. They don't look at it again. It's a bit like Christmas lights what go up. The first day you see that house with Christmas lights, you go, oh, wow. The second day you go, oh, yeah. And then after you've seen it the next
You forget this
2 months, you're like, you just don't even see it anymore. You probably notice it more when it's disappeared than when it was there. So make sure you change things up. Again, that leads into obviously the membership thing we've got on the website. Again, I'm not super pushing that. That's totally up to you guys if you want to sign up for that. But obviously keeping artwork and everything different, changed up, swapped out, keeps people's interest.
Now, I will say this about a website. One of the worst things is a cluttered up website where you don't know where to go first. But the number 2 thing that's even just as bad is the one that's so sterile that it lacks enough information to even contact them, where there's not even an address or a phone number, a website, an email, no nothing. It's that sterile. So you go from bad to even worse. At least the one that's kind of busy, you can eventually find what you need to find if you want to dig through all of this. But the one that's so sterile that there's no address, phone number, and all that, how are you going to get business? What I want to know.
Yeah, one thing I always say about addresses and phone numbers, always have it on your front page at the top in
Yep.
the header. People can see straight away and know where you are, and potentially when you open and how to contact you. Because most people are not interested in searching for 5 minutes to find something they want to
I'm not
there
gonna.
and now. So have it plain and clear. Just going back to Gadget Joe's on about doing his lighting in his studio. Personally, Gadget Joe, the way I do things, I've got it old school manual. I've got everything flipped up, set up to different switches, and just flick them. Smart technology is good, and I'm a tech person. But to be honest with you, we use very little of it because, especially with a lot of these custom things you buy online, they come with an app and so forth, and then they don't bother updating the app. And you try and use the app, and then you can't control it, and then you've got a piece of tech which is a load of rubbish.
And then you buy another phone and it doesn't work with that phone, and so forth and so on. So, yeah.
Personally, I prefer the old-fashioned manual way, but again, everyone's, I'm going to say, got their own style, and it's good to walk in a room and say, turn studio lights on, A, B, C, whatever, and it does it and so forth, but I like to do it. I like to be a bit old school and manual.
I hope to give the studio a little overhaul, though, in the new year. I hope to.
Oh, in the main bit, yeah. Well, we'll have a look at that then. Right, let's quickly go through the last of the chat. Let me just pop it all up on screen. Here we go. Gadget Joe. Here we go. This is what Welsh is saying.
I'll be revamping my film area after the new year, make a bit of better. I'll have some spare room done as filming area gets big. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I say that to anybody that's doing what we do is keep it fresh. If you're tired of it, well then Lord knows your audience is. Gadget Joe, if you want smart tapo range from TP-Link, get an Amazon.echo and turn them all off on by voice. We did a whole workshop, lights, plugs, strip lights, etc.
I must admit, the Tapo range from TP-Link, we have looked at some of their lights, and I think I do have some lights which I do control the colours from a phone. I think that's about the only thing I do there, because the manual thing is finding the remote control a lot of the time on that one, but most of the stuff's manual. But yeah, the Tapo stuff is a good range. Carl saying, Carl's in chat anyway, so there we go. He says, look at Home Assistant, so there we go.
Yeah.
Gadget Joe saying, good man, Welshie. 2025 is going to be a good year for them, basically. And Welshie Check saying, cheers. And Rich Creed says, I'm afraid I'm guilty of not updating my website often enough. As long as it doesn't say last updated 2018, Richard Creedy, or older, you probably be all right. But I've not looked at your website, so I don't know. But I must admit, because obviously all the people we let into the Tech for Tech's Facebook community, One of the questions is is your website, and some of the websites I do see
Oh my
wouldn't want me to
gosh.
come to a tech-related store. Let's put it that way. And some of them, and this is if any of you were guilty of this who are watching, have cameras on set up in the so people can
Yes.
see in the store their actual store. So they go on the website and they can see what's going on in the store. And I've seen times where people are scratching their arses and the store is totally untidy. And I'm like,
Boxes to the ceiling.
it's one thing promoting your business, but if you're going to promote something, you've got to make sure it looks right, especially if you're going to let people watch it 24 hours.
And you know, I can forgive someone if they've just had the DPD man to drop off a load of boxes. But these boxes were open, and the next time I watched, that same box was sitting in the same place.
Yeah, you know it hasn't moved. And also something else to be aware of, it's a security risk as well, because people can
Yes.
see when no one's in the store.
And also, if you've got it pointed at your desk and you're doing like a data recovery job, oh my Lord, at the mess you could get yourself into.
There we go, yeah. So that's it.
So-
So yes, Gadget Joe, a knockoff version of Big Brother, but but yes, we do see a few things on there. Anyway, we're past 9 o'clock. I know we're starting a bit late, but we're still running over on top of that
Yeah.
anyway. So I'd just like to say thank you, obviously, for Karl for joining us, and Ken, unfortunately, Will didn't make it in the end, but no doubt he'll be on another show in the new year. This
Yeah.
is our last show this year. I'm correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just making sure you hadn't you hadn't booked another one in. But this is the last show of the year, so we'll be back in January, and Jen will be posting up, obviously, a list of
Yeah.
what's on and when. We'll be starting all sorts of different things then as well. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. I'd just like to say thank you, everyone, for supporting Tech for Techs in 2024, and here's to 2025.
Yes.
Obviously, we've had a big year with the launch of the Membership Plus. We've had Tech Max, and next year we've got all that again. And we'll also be launching our Real Tech initiative, which is going to be nationwide. We're launching that at some point next year, which is to promote independent stores and traders over the big chain brands. Will be launching that next year. Okay, so which I say next year, it's like 3 weeks
Yes,
away.
yeah, I was just gonna
Next year.
say.
So obviously the Tech Awards will be starting again in January, so we'll be putting down nominations and everything for that, ready for the final, which will be in June. So, but again, we'll let you know about all that later. So yeah, as William says, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Happy
New Year.
Don't drink too much Guinness.
Well, you won't be able to get any because I got a feeling that Dan Hurst has it all hogging it in Yorkshire.
Yeah, Target, yeah. So that's probably why there's a shortage. But there we go. So, but yeah, everyone have a good one. Just remember, over Christmas, obviously, some of you are open and close different times, but just try and put your feet up at least just one day and think about, obviously, real life, the people around you, and spend time with, obviously, relatives, friends, and if you know anyone who doesn't have anyone to spend any time with, go and visit them and just say hi, even if it's just for 5 minutes
Yeah.
or for a beer or whatever, because there's plenty of people out there who don't have anyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks again, everyone. We'll see you all in the new year. And again, thank you to ISL Online for sponsoring this show. And also, if you do get chance, guys, if you are able to help out with Gamers Beat Cancer, please do. They are our charity. We're supporting at the moment all the way up to Tech Max and possibly beyond. And here's a little bit video first. But first of all, thanks everyone. Good night. See you next year if I don't talk to you before.
Good night.
Introducing Gamers Beat Cancer, the UK charity using the power of gaming via the gift of gaming to bring hope and support to cancer fighters everywhere. They provide gaming equipment, build supportive communities, and raise funds for vital cancer charities. Join us in levelling up against cancer. Donate, volunteer, or spread the word today. Visit gamersbeatcancer.co.uk